현지 시간으로 지난 1일 이번 아프리카 4개국 전도 여행의 첫 번째 국가인 케냐에 도착한 박옥수 목사. 첫날 CLF 컨퍼런스 및 일정을 치르고 다음 날인 2일은 이번 방문 및 목적을 알리는 기자회견 및 방송 인터뷰 등이 진행됐습니다. 먼저 오전 9시 나이로비 사파리파크 호텔의 잠보홀에서 진행된 기자회견에는 케냐에서 5손가락 안에 꼽히는 대형 방송국 KTN, K14, KBC를 비롯해 34개 언론사, 100명 이상의 기자 및 언론인들이 참여했습니다. 이들 대부분이 코로나 발생 이후 박옥수 목사의 요한복음 강해를 비롯한 온라인 설교를 방영하면서 선교회 및 박 목사에 대해 지속적인 관심과 성원을 보내왔습니다. 이날 기자회견에서 환영사를 전한 아프리카 성령의 교회 총재인 비숍 마틴 오이노. 자신이 박옥수 목사로부터 복음을 듣고 진정한 구원을 받았고 그 후 그 복음으로 자신이 이끄는 교회 역시 큰 변화가 생겼다며 이 메시지가 아프리카, 나아가 전 세계를 변화시킬 것이라고 확신했습니다.
I would like to say that I really appreciate Pastor Reverend Oxopak for coming to Kenya because through his gospel we are able to receive the heart of God. And through this gospel, which is preaching, means that it solves all the problem. Because from the heart we have the sin, and sin leads us to do evil things. It leads us even to bring corruption in Kenya. But if this gospel can deal with each and every one of us to change our heart, to remove the sin problem, then I hope Kenya will be the best country to live in. Another thing is that by sticking to this gospel of returning back to the Bible and the remission of sin, I really appreciate Pastor Oxopak because it makes us enjoy the gospel without any sweat, because this is apostolic revelation which has been given to him by God. And therefore, it is my urge to fellow pastors, to fellow servants of God, that we should stick to this gospel so that we may lead people to heaven.
모두 발언 시간. 박옥수 목사는 먼저 처음 케냐 사람들을 만났던 1993년 한국 엑스포, 그리고 이듬해 1994년 처음 케냐 나이로비를 방문해 야이온 스타디움에서 복음을 전했던 때를 회상했습니다. 그러면서 고 존 아타밀스 전 가나 대통령에게 전했던 복음, 이제는 깊은 소식 선교회와 함께 온라인 및 CLF를 통해 전 세계 80만 목회자들이 함께 마음을 모으고 전하는 복음이 무엇인지 자세히 설명했습니다. 이어진 기자들과의 질의응답 시간에는 이번 박옥수 목사의 아프리카 4개국 방문 취지, 그리고 전 세계 89개국에서 사역을 펼칠 수 있는 열정은 무엇인지, 혹시 마주하는 어려움이 있는지 등 박옥수 목사의 사역에 관한 질문이 우선 오갔습니다. 박 목사는 이에 대한 대답으로 예수님과 마음을 합했을 때 찾아오는 변화, 그리고 이 변화를 더 많은 사람에게 전하고 싶다며 기자들에게 복음을 설명하고 또한 이를 전하는 데 앞장서달라고 말했습니다. 또한 박옥수 목사가 선교와 함께 마음을 쓰고 있는 청소년 교육에 대한 질문에는 청소년들에게 자제력을 길러줘야 한다는 답변을 했습니다.
I'm a journalist, and for a lot of time I've been just watching him on TV, but it was a nice opportunity for me to come and watch him live speaking to Kenyans and among others, and I'm so happy about what he talked on mindset education in Kenya, and I'm so eager to know about the programs that they are planning to roll out for Kenyan youth on issues about mindset, the issues about self-control, as he mentioned about. And also, I'm so happy he talked about the church in Kenya and about the issue of salvation, receiving Jesus Christ, etc. So I'm really happy about Reverend Dr. Park, what he has done throughout the world, and what I can only pray for him is good health and more grace to continue to spread the gospel of Jesus Christ.
특히 청소년 교육의 비전은 2017년 대선을 앞두고 폭동을 겪었던 케냐가 최근 다시 선거를 앞두고 정치적으로 불안한 상황에 있다며 이에 휩쓸릴 청소년들에 대한 질문에도 큰 도움이 됐습니다.
I want to say that today's press conference with Pastor Oksupak is very timely, and it comes at a time when we need it the most. We're even heading to the elections next year. We've seen a lot of youth being misused, but with this kind of teachings, the mind lecture and also the Word of God, it's going to help us evade so many problems that the youth of this country, if the youth are educated and they're strong enough and they have a foundation in the Word of God and they have a foundation where they've learned how to control themselves through the mind lecture via Good News Missions and Pastor Oksupak, I believe that this country is going to change, and I also believe that we will be having a very peaceful next year. And we just hope that Pastor Oksupak gets, now that he's working with a lot of leaders, that he gets to educate leaders who have access to the youth. If they get the right kind of preaching or the Word of God, they will be in a position to reach the masses. The youth of this country, we are so many as the youth, and if you take care of the youth, you will be taking care of the future and taking care of tomorrow. So I feel like the country is very lucky to have someone like Pastor Oksupak who is here to train us about mind lecture and to train our leaders so that they can take care of our youth who are tomorrow.
같은 날 오후 1시에는 케냐 3대 방송국 중 하나인 KTN에서 박옥수 목사를 단독 인터뷰했습니다. 케냐 106개 방송사가 CLF 컨퍼런스를 방영하면서 이번 박 목사의 방문 역시 큰 주목을 받으며 언론들의 인터뷰 요청이 쇄도한 가운데 KTN은 자사 최고 인기 프로그램인 썬데이 베스트에 박 목사를 초청했습니다. 이로써 박옥수 목사의 KTN 출연은 지난 8월 같은 프로그램의 온라인 출연 이후 두 번째입니다.
We were so excited when we heard that Oksupak is coming to Kenya at this time, because we had an interview with him before this year in August virtually, and we were really looking forward to actually seeing him in person, because during the interview he talked about his life as a missionary and how he has had impact all over Africa, all over the world, and especially to young people. And we saw what impact that particular episode had due to the numbers that we had for that particular episode on air. And so we are happy to actually now get to see him and interview him face to face. And this time round, we are really keen on looking at his personal story, his personal journey, because we believe that he's been very inspirational to many young people especially. And also look at the leadership. He's been with presidents all over Africa, and I mean, for you to have such a great impact even on the leadership and governance all over the world, it means that you've come from somewhere and there are lives that you've changed for you to even get such kind of impact to such leaders. And so it's an honor and a privilege to have him here today, have this exclusive interview with him again. And our main aim and hope is that that many people that will also listen to this interview their lives will be transformed and will be changed.
인터뷰는 화기애애한 분위기 속에 진행됐고 94년 대전 엑스포가 기점이 된 케냐와의 인연부터 IYF 설립 및 마인드 교육, 그리고 고 존 아타밀스 가나 전 대통령과의 일화까지 이어가며 차근차근 복음을 전했습니다. 그러면서 이 복음을 전하는 데 함께 해주고 있는 KTN 및 케냐 언론들에 대한 감사를 표했습니다.
So I had a great interview with Reverend Dr. Oksupak. His message of being justified and being righteous is so powerful. And he keeps speaking about it. He says, Christ did not come so that you keep being in sin and you keep complaining and keep crying, but he came so that you could be justified and receive righteousness. So we need to walk with confidence that yes, we are justified, we are righteous because of the great job he did right there at the cross. I love the message. And I think that's basically the message of the gospel of Jesus Christ, which we all need to believe and trust and walk in. So I believe that the message he preaches across the world in more than 89 countries will be a message that will reach our audience in Kenya, from KTN and BTV, that this message will go out, that people will see the urgency of believing the message of being justified and believing that Christ came so that we could be justified and receive salvation and receive freedom.
박옥수 목사의 이번 케냐 방문을 통해 다시 한번 케냐 전역으로 힘차게 뻗어나가고 있는 복음의 메시지. 이 복음을 전하는 데 동참하고 있는 케냐 언론들의 역할이 앞으로도 기대됩니다. 굿뉴스티비 장민수입니다.